And here we are again. Oh god. Right, Ted, I'll just get on with it.
March 1945. With the 9th Armored and the 99th, our mission is to take the bridge of Remagen. We get across, the last German resistance will crumble.
I want nothing more than to be with Hazel when our baby arrives. But I gotta convince Pearson to let me back in the fight. I'm doing it to find Zus, cause he'd do the same for me. If I don't make it home, well, just watch over him, Paul.
Oh, what are you doing here?
What's it look like?
Suicide.
Hey, I wouldn't go in there. Pearson's been hitting the sauce.
Thanks for the warning.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
I'm not giving up on Zussman.
Tell it to the chaplain, because I got no room for a second. Who can't follow orders?
You weren't following orders when you refused to abandon those boys at Kazarine.
What did you just say to me?
You heard me.
You better leave while you can still walk.
Davis told me. It wasn't your fault. You were only trying to do right by your platoon.
Get out! Get out!
I'm not going anywhere.
I said get out! God damn it! My orders were to fall back, but I just couldn't leave them. I told my men we were gonna hold this pass until reinforcements got here, but they never came. They never came. So I guess you're right. I did get my men killed. No go.
Not without my platoon.
You think you got some guts, don't you? Try getting the job done day in and day out while your men are dying all around you.
Turner would have never given up like
Turner is dead!
Then make that mean something! No sacrifice too great!
You don't know anything about sacrifice!
How about this? Honorable discharge papers signed by Davis. My ticket home. I could have had everything. A hero's welcome, my girl in my arms. Hell, even a Bronze Star. But I got one last mission.
You must be crazy.
Crazy ain't the half of it.
All right, fall in.
Sergeant?
I said fall in, goddammit. If you want in, now's the time. Get the fuck out of my way.
Ah, he's come good.
I guess the gang's all here.
Not all of us. Let's take that bridge and find our boy.
Yes, Corporal.
If Zussman's alive, he's across that bridge. We just gotta take it first.
One bridge to Rhine.
All right, there she is, the last bridge over the Rhine.
We get this convoy across, we're in the heartland. We'll bust them open.
Look, it's all or nothing. It's all been leading to this.
Hold tight! All right, on me, come on! We gotta secure the bridge entrance!
Yes, Sergeant. Come on.
Hey, don't make me regret giving you a second chance.
You know I won't. Let's move.
Push for the bridge! Let's move!
You ass. OMGs.
Daniels, Aiello, secure the upper floors.
Very effective.
Wir haben keine Chance. Wir sollten uns den Amerikanern ergeben.
Let's go!
Kommen Sie so. Bereit halten!
I got your back. Clear the top floor.
Hey Daniel, da ist Feuer! Ich werde das Feuer nicht erwidern!
Sorry.
We're all clear!
itchy ankle. Hold on. That's better. We all done?
Helft mir!
Come
Helft
on,
mir!
on me. We're heading on to the bridge.
Kann meine Beine nicht bewegen. Ich flehe euch an. Kann meine Beine nicht bewegen.
Krauts are gonna blow the bridge. We gotta stop them. Stiles, what do you got?
They're rolling out everything. Just buy some time. We'll handle the charges.
All right, I'll lead the way while Daniels and Stiles cover the engineers. Ready?
The main characters have...
Come on, let's go.
Yeah, the graphics done well for the main characters.
You two, defuse the charges below the main structure.
Krauts are falling back. Stay low and keep sharp. Up ahead, on your shot, Daniels.
Grenade out!
Open up!
I'll defuse this one.
You're shooting in the wrong direction.
They're falling back. Yeah, they're getting out of here in a hurry.
Oh,
They're blowing the bridge!
there they are.
Who's down? Who's still with
Ready
me?
with that target and smoke?
Damn thing, hell. Not now. Our enemies in sight.
Still on it.
Dumb bastards.
Get up! Keep moving! We still got a job to do!
Hey, let's mark targets for waters. Listen. Planes.
Not our planes, yes.
They reinforced the bridgehead. We gotta get off this thing.
Grenade!
The hell? Oh, there.
Daniel, grenades and smokes.
Daniels, you get up the artillery, zero in.
Daniel, grenades and smokes.
Smoke
Next
grenade!
to the generator. You can signal the mortars, Daniels.
Ah. God, it sucks. Give me a rifle. Give me your rifle, even. Oh, well, that wasn't very good, was it? All right, someone's got it in for me. Oh, him. Right, okay. Drill that bastard out. Just like in real life, we get 50 chances. Whoa. Oh. Shit. No. No one took him out, so you just let all those other people.
Pass him, quick! Here you go! You tart. Clear out the rest of the tower!
Ammo box? No, no. Damn.
Daniel, get up there now!
Daniel, you can signal for mortar.
In Deckung bleiben!
Throwing a grenade!
Enemy located!
Anything interesting? No. Fast. No rifles.
Yo, Daniel! Why don't you signal the artillery? That's everyone!
Got bulletproof caps. So obviously it's the range. Are they just... Yeah, more just come. Yeah, I'll have to go, I think.
to take out the bridge. We need to capture those AA guns. Daniels, Howard!
Anonymously
On
captured.
me! Move now!
Grenade and smokes.
Hey? No, more just go.
Sergeant, suppressive fire now! Enemy located! Into those trenches! Move! We need to capture those AA guns!
Go on then.
Ground position spotted! Daniels, get to the AA gun!
I killed everybody here.
Enemy at the sandbag!
Achtung, baby!
Daniels! Man that AA gun! Daniels! Man that AA gun! Protect that bridge! Turn left! Got him! Keep on him! 1 o'clock! Got him! You've got this, Daniels! Direct hit! On the left! Keep on him! They've sighted you, Daniels! Direct hit! 12 o'clock! Left! He's going down! All right! Our fly boys are here! They're gonna hit us with everything we got.
Not done yet! On me!
Grenade out!
Enemy spotted! Everyone stand down! Stand down!
They're surrendering!
It's over. Go.
The bridge is ours. Corporal Howard. I believe I owe you an apology. You owe me a hell of a lot more than that. Come on through. Just made history, fellas. First across the line. What you looking at, Fritz?
If the shoe
There are
Fritz.
reports of POW camps in the area. Davis has ordered us to wait for authorization before conducting a sweep. But I guess you know what to do with Davis's orders.
Copy that, Sergeant.
All right.
Proud our platoon held the first bridgehead on the Rhine. Now our convoy's rolling into the heart of Germany. They say war's as good as won. Not to me. Not while Zuss is out there.
Ah.
After leaving the bridge on our mission east, we searched camps along the way. I thought I knew what cruelty was. I didn't know anything. But one thing's for certain. What I saw will stay with me forever. The survivors said that the other POWs, including Zussman, had been taken to a smaller camp 3 hours east. All I could do was hope he somehow made it.
Last one. This looks more like a labor camp.
Could be a conservative
Come
camp.
I get the feeling it's deserted.
It's still burning. They must have just left.
There's a barracks over there.
Daniels, you and Stiles check it out. Aiello with me.
They wanted to hide whatever happened here. These were our guys.
Take out your camera. The world's gotta know. They had them living worse than animals. From the looks of it, they were beaten, starved, and worked to the bone.
Over here.
The Nazis had murdered our boys in cold blood, and no fire in hell could burn away the stain.
I'm guessing they made an example out of them.
They'd slaughtered the weakest, anyone that was slowing them down.
Daniels, over here. Daniels, you gotta see this. Tracks lead to the fields. That's where they must have marched on.
Then that's where we're going.
I wouldn't get your hopes up, Corporal.
I made a promise to Sussman.
We'll find him. I just can't guarantee we'll find him alive.
Sergeant, I'll take point. Sussman!
Red! Red, take the shot!
Everything's coming full circle. All I'd done, all I wish I'd done. It's like my whole life is leading to this moment.
We need to head home, baby brother.
Paul!
You died right there in the snow. All because I couldn't. Damn it. I'm coming, Zussman. You're not gonna die, brother. Not now. Not today. Zussman! Suspect!
Red, take the shot! Take the shot! Take the shot!
Is it over? You must be dreaming.
What'd they do?
Thought you were left behind. And I might die alone out here.
Drink some. Easy now.
Okay, come on, let's get out of here. Into the Jeep, come on in. General.
You always looked out for me, Paul. And I reckon you did today. Because there's only one thing that keeps you going on that long march. And that's having your brothers beside you.
When history called, you answered. From all walks of life, you came to defend peace and freedom. I thank you, and the world thanks you. Wherever your path takes you, know this. You will always be amongst a brotherhood of heroes.
Well, this is it, fellas. Zussman wanted you to have it.
And you'll need it more than me. You got a kiddo now.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Gentlemen. Queens! Your prodigal son returns!
You gonna be okay?
Gotta say bye to Zussman.
Sergeant.
Going home, Sergeant?
I am home. What about you? You gonna re-up?
I've been away from Texas for a long time.
You take care, farm boy.
I will. When my son asks what I did, I'll tell him I fought with the first. And that crazy bastard Pearson.
Crazy ain't the half of it.
If you're ever in Chicago,
I'll get there.
oh, maybe I'll surprise you in Longview first.
You're welcome anytime.
You know, when they captured us, it wasn't just our freedom that they took. Even though we were together, and we were alone, looking for any way to survive. But you could have gone home a hero. Why'd you come back?
I saw that life. Just couldn't live it.
to the end.
The dream was different last night. This time we made it home, together. I can still hear the wolves' paw. Sometimes I still see him coming. But you showed me how to fight him. So this belongs to you. Because the sacrifice you made taught me that a hero will risk it all to save his brother. And you'll always be both to me.
I enjoyed that. It's poignant. It was good gunplay. Meaningful story. It wasn't empty. A lot of the Call of Duty stories are like that. You know, the brotherhood type of thing. Bit of in-house fighting and squabbling and digs. When I said earlier that everyone died in vain, I didn't mean that in a bad way. I meant that war is entirely unnecessary. It's only when you're forced into it is it necessary. I don't mean forced into it by some leader that goes there with us going to start on that country for no reason. I mean, if you're going to be invaded and you have to fight back, then it's entirely necessary. I think there's an old saying, I heard it somewhere, about war. Basically, rich man's war, poor man's fight. It's usually the way. And the only winner in war is war itself. The game though, really good. I enjoyed it. I'll probably play it again one day. Don't know. And I always play Call of Duty games at least twice. And yes, it's worth it. I paid more to go to the cinema and see something that's just not that great. I enjoyed it. You feel guilty enjoying things like this when they're this accurate. Well, accurate, you know what I mean. You enjoy Wolfenstein more as entertainment, Wolfenstein, because it's just partial reality. The rest of it's entirely fictional, and well, it's all fiction really. Apart from there was Nazis. It's war is tricky. I'm glad to see that gaming is getting more and more recognition, but not by gamers, which is a bit tricky, that one too. That's tricky. It's an art form. Look how many people are involved. Yeah, I don't know if I've said this before, but the amount I used to spend in Blockbuster Video, you have to get in your car and you drive there, and you'd spend almost £5 just on hiring a video that you had to get back the next day. If you didn't get a chance to watch it, well, that's your tough titty. And that's how it went for a long time. Can you imagine that impact on the environment too? Because all that, but I mean, there's the cost straight away and something, especially back then. We're talking 20 years ago. But the cost to the environment, because you had all that, basically VHS tape crap, is pretty toxic, pretty hard to dispose of, and then you had to have those all delivered to a shop, and you had all these workers going to the shop, and you had everybody decorate the shop and hire the shop and maintain it, and then everybody drove to it to see one film. I know they had a number of films, but let's just assume they all went to hire one film that came out that day, and they had 70 copies of it. So 70 people a day went there to hire a video, one film, and let's say that that film was hired out 70 people a day for 2 months in a small town, and more in bigger areas, obviously. Let's say minimum of 2 months. That's a lot of cars going back and forth, a lot of people going to the shop to man it, a lot of manufacturing costs, delivery, all that type of stuff. Now Netflix and co, and Google has bought no one's driving anywhere. The digital footprint is next to nothing in comparison to a physical footprint. It's the same with, let's say, Amazon even. It's a godsend in a way, excuse the loose term godsend as well. You've got, let's say, a bottle of shampoo being delivered. So you've got one guy out delivering to 1,000 people rather than 1,000 people driving to the same location to get one product. Our digital footprint must be coming, digital carbon footprint must be coming right down because of the modern age. Of course, though, it took all that pollution before to make the current age we're in. Anyway, so definitely worth 30 quid. I think that's what it cost me. 32 quid, I think. And I've got zombies. And if I cared, I've got multiplayer. Apparently it's meant to be very good in this, I've read. I'm not that bothered. I know you like multiplayer, Ted, for Call of Duty. Or used to. Did you? Yeah, that's what I've been told. Excuse the sound quality as well. I never use my super mic for this. It's a pain to set it up because it picks up my computer fans and all sorts of things. I don't use it for... Well, I don't do any of this really. I just use my headset mic. It's only a 15 quid headset. Rather than the really expensive microphone. Anyway, definitely worth the money. People are bitch about it. I understand that not everybody's got 33 quid or 32 quid to just throw away. It's not throwing away though, is it? It's not even the price of going to the pub for the night. But I get it. Some people can't afford to even go to the pub. But for people who can't afford it, people who mock the game, well, that's just bollocks. It really is. It's also a matter of taste. But if you like Call of Duty before for the first few years, let's say, then you should like this. And you should like the last one too. It's all the same stuff, it's just better looking and they add a bit more to it each time. I know that multiplayer kind of dominates the gaming scene nowadays, but does it mean you have to slag off the single player campaign, whatever you want to call it? Thoroughly enjoyable. Can I just remind everybody, Ted, just need to remind you that Doom did well last year. And I'm not entirely sure why that is okay to do well. Which is basically run into a room, get locked in there when you pull a heart out of this thing. You get some heavy metal music on, then you do some gunplay, kill everything in that room, go on to the next room, look at some new scenery in this cool place in Mars. Door shuts on you, kill everybody in the room because you pulled something out of a heart thing, and do rinse and repeat. This is exactly the same as the Call of Duty that everybody loved, but they add more to it. And the same with Doom. It's still the same recipe. And yet Doom is from a formula when it's not because it was a better formula. People just like to run in a room and kill. The only reason it was like that in the olden days is because there was no way you could make it more. Someone was saying that having a story in a computer game is the equivalent of having a story in porn. No one cares. It's just as long as there is one. Yeah, I disagree. I mean, I understand that initially, but initially we didn't have the ability to do it. I say we as well, I mean humans. The know-how and technology is here now, and the actors fully accept that it's an art form and they just see it as another job, so they all come on board. Everybody from Kevin Spacey. We won't say anything about him right now, because whether he did it or not, I condone it if he did it, and he gets what he deserves if he did it, but let's just assume for now that this so far hasn't gone to trial and he's not guilty, so... And it doesn't mean he's a shit actor, so let's just forget about that anyway for now. God, who else has been in it then? Gary Oldman's done the Call of Duty games. So has Kiefer Sutherland. I mean, they recognise it as a proper acting gig. And many other actors have done it too. It's not... Doom gets a pass because it's Doom. This doesn't get... Call of Duty is a benchmark. I know it was Medal of Honor that came first, sort of. But it's a benchmark, just like Doom is. And just because there wasn't a big break in it... And then imagine if there was a big break in Call of Duty. And then this came out. Or the one before, let's say, after a few years. People would say it's brilliant. A welcome return. But because they haven't had a break, it gets a kicking. It's a target. It's like Lewis winning all the championships. Lewis was cheered and cheered and cheered because Seb was winning everything. And what did they call Seb? You know, all sorts of names because he won more than one in a row. Lewis does the same thing. They turn on Lewis. And then Seb's the hero. And then, you know, whoever does more... Anyway, you know where I'm going with this. It's, the game's good. And it might not be everybody's cup of tea, but that means the first one wasn't their cup of tea either. Or they're just bored of it. And it doesn't... If you're bored of it, and you're not into it anymore because you've grown out of it, because it was 10 years ago or 17 years ago, whenever the first one was, well, that's fine. You've grown out of it, but it doesn't mean the game is shit. Or the one before it, or the one before it. A bad game is where it's pretty much, you can tell after the first few minutes, you go, oh God. And there's glitches and errors, and it's just the map layout's a bit awkward, and the mechanics, you know, the aim mechanic doesn't feel right, and the music's non-existent and or is crap if they have got it. The acting's awful, the script is awful, the graphics are crap, the gameplay is shot. That's a bad game. But when you've got the same recipe as what worked before, but additional good stuff, like better acting. Because they didn't have that in the first game, or the second, or the third, or so on. So they've got great acting, great score, great sound effects, brilliant graphics, and excellent, well and truly honed out mechanics, and map layout, pretty good story. And they've added loads of other extra bits too. There is some good bits. Wasn't too keen on the tank driving or the driving itself because the mechanics not quite right. But the idea, I get that. But apart from that, all bloody good. It's not a 10 out of 10 game, but it's definitely 8. Definitely an 8. Because if you enjoy something and it's not entirely 100%, 8 then makes it good, not classic. So it's not a classic game because it didn't come first. Its predecessor did, which isn't as good, but for the time and so on. It's a good game. Just is a good game. I bought it. I'd say if I regretted it. And I certainly wouldn't upload it. If it was crap, I just would go, pfft. I uploaded it. Anything I say, like when I do cars as well, I'll only say if it's going to be good. This, though, I took a shot. I didn't know it was going to be good until I played it. And everything I've uploaded is the very first time I played it. You know, played any of them. The levels, that is. And you can just tell it's going to be good. How many years of this in a row now that I've been playing Call of Duty? And they've always been good. And no, it's not my bias. I'm not biased because if it was crap, I'd just say and I'd go on to the next thing and save a few quid or not buy in future or whatever. Anyway, all good. I've had enough now. Gabbled on. What time is it? 20 past 1. My word. I've got so much to do. Tell you what, if this came out 17 years ago, as it looks now, this actual game, and we had the horsepower, it just turned up and someone said, there you go. Everybody'd rave and... Anyway, good night. Or whatever time it is. When everybody, I say everybody, it's like one person. It might not even be you, Ted, that watches it. Night night.